Today we are in recovery mode. A torrential rainstorm on Lombok Island in Indonesia seemingly killed our motorcycle. And we had to clean out the carburetor to bring her back to life. This is the end of our motorcycle journey in Indonesia. The final day of riding our Bajaj Pulsar 220 that has taken us from where we bought it in Jakarta, across the island of Java, to Pontianak, on Kalimantan, and back down to Bali and Lombok.
As many of you know who have come along our journey with us for the past year, our motorcycle has broken down more than a few times along the way. From faulty kickstands to troubles going up hills, to crashing in volcanic ash, blowing a clutch in Bali, and even dying in a rainstorm on Lombok, our motorcycle, which we've named Dorco, hasn't been as reliable as we'd originally hoped. But it has successfully carried us and our two-up and overloaded lifestyle through some pretty difficult terrain and gotten us to some pretty incredible places.
And now, we were about to complete our journey across Indonesia by boarding a ferry back to Bali.
But what is our next destination after Bali? And what adventures are still to come? What is our next motorcycle? And most importantly, what happens to Dorco, our Indonesian motorcycle that had been through so much with us? Will it remain just as broken and battered as ever? Or is there a new life in store for this little engine that couldn't?
Ride along with us and let's find out.
And I promise you are going to be shocked when you discover the twist of our Indonesian motorcycle's fate.
Hey everyone, nice to have you here. We are Tim
and Marissa No Tear.
I ride in the front
and I'm in the rear.
We travel the world and we pack too much gear.
Oh, all the places we'll go.
Through rain and through sleet and through mud and through snow.
Oh, all the things we'll see.
We've been to a country or two
or three. Oh, all the fun we've had.
You have you along would make us real glad.
So give us a like and hit subscribe
to join us along our epic ride.
So Marissa and I are on Dorco, and Joel is tailing us to make sure we don't stall out and die again.
Yes,
And
our friend.
We are on our way back to the ferry to take us to Bali.
Basically, we had just gone through this horrible experience of our motorcycle dying in the rain. We fixed the carburetor, but we weren't very confident that it was truly fixed. I mean, was this going to happen the next time we go through a big puddle?
Yeah, we were in evacuation mode. We needed to get back to Bali and reevaluate the situation.
But the crazy thing was that now, all of a sudden, our motorcycle was working better than ever.
I think the carbs had been messed up since day one. Should have been cleaned out, and we would have had a much more smooth ride across Java and Kalimantan, everywhere we've taken her. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise for Joel, who was about to buy our motorcycle.
Yes.
That we went through that puddle of doom and got things cleaned out, because now it's like a brand new motorcycle. It's like a 221.
Yeah. You said it has never ridden better.
Absolutely. And that wasn't just to sell it to Joel. And I'm glad that it was running better, because I don't want to sell Joel a piece of crap motorcycle
Yeah.
We were gonna sell it to him cheap, $250. I bought it for $5 from Greg and Mel Chirp, and I told them I'd give them half of whatever I sold it for. So I was gonna sell it for $500 again and give him $250. But for Howell, he's a buddy of ours. Didn't really have a good running record the last couple days, so I said I'll just forfeit my half, sell it to him for the $250, give the Chirps their $250, and everybody's a win-win-win.
Yes, absolutely. But Howell had still never ridden the motorcycle. And so we pulled over to this convenience store and Howell decided to take it for a test run.
What do you think?
It's really hard on first. It moves a lot, right?
So, you're still gonna buy it?
A lot of work, but yes.
What'd you say? It barely works, but yes?
A lot of work, but yes.
Yeah.
It really works.
It'll be alright.
But we get back on the road and we pass that giant R2-D2 rocket-looking thing.
Yeah, the city of Mataram, which is the big city on the island of Lombok, does have some really cool structures and architecture involved. I really like that one, the R2-D2 rocket. And my personal favorite, though, is the giant Connects playground archway thing.
Multicolored, looks like something Mario Kart you'd ride.
Yes.
Yeah, super, super cool. Bike is still running perfectly, so I have high hopes that the cleaning out of the carbs was a major issue that had been standing since the day that I bought it, and hopefully was going to be a non-issue.
Yeah.
Lucky Howell.
I know, the last day that we're riding this motorcycle and finally, it's fixed. This is amazing. We don't know anything about carburetors because we never had a motorcycle that had one. We didn't even know this motorcycle had one. Yeah. And it's not a common thing in motorcycles anymore. So this was all a big surprise to us.
You need to buy a ticket over there.
Okay.
160 something, they say. You want to skip 3 and I'll pay you? Yeah.
No, they need the passport.
They need the passport. Yes, I can remember.
Number 2, yeah.
Number 2. Yes, sir. And our friend too. Yeah. Terima kasih. I'm gonna wait for him.
On to the ferry, all the way up to the front of it, where there was a group of men, helping us park the motorcycle.
Okay.
Bagus.
And they had another cabin, which is our new mandatory request.
Bedroom?
Yeah, cabin.
300.
Okay, fine.
Yes. Can you see?
It was 250 last time.
250. 4 bed. 4 bed? Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see?
Yeah.
One room.
1 second. Yeah, 1 second, brother.
We've been on lots of ferries in Indonesia, and sometimes we're in with everyone, you know, all the passengers. Sometimes it's overnight, and sometimes we found these little VIP lounges. And so we were definitely on the hunt for one of those.
Look at the VIP parking.
Good.
What's
Where
your
do you
name?
come
United States.
You understand, please?
Yeah, what is your name? Nama?
Petrus.
Itrus?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Tim.
Saipul.
Saibur?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, brother. Terima kasih. You take special care, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, come on.
Okay.
They offered it to us, and it was 300,000 rupiah, so a little bit more than the one we'd had on the way to Lombok. But they said, oh, it's got lots of beds. You'll love it. So we wanted to check it out.
Yeah.
So we specifically asked for a cabin this time, just like last time, because it was so nice. Ooh. This one apparently, this one apparently has 4 beds in it. It's a little bit more expensive, but then at least we'll all have a bed. Wow.
What's the VIP?
Huh?
Better or?
I would say it's better because there's beds. Kind of smells like mass balls, but hey, that's free for us. Gratis.
It hasn't been like clean.
This is like the crew room, you know.
Yeah.
Is the window open?
Okay, open.
No. Okay.
Watermelon?
Berapa ini? 10.
No.
You don't want? No, it's jackfruit.
Jackfruit.
Can I have? But you don't like it because it's stinky. Then berapa ini?
Papaya sama 10.
Papaya.
So this ferry ride from Lombok to Bali is about 4 to 5 hours. It's pretty long, and it goes over a stretch of water that is famous for being very, very rough. Apparently, there are 2 continental shelves that meet there. It is the Australasian plate and the Southeast Asian plate, that these different land masses that Bali was connected to and the landmass that Lombok was connected to are totally separate long ago, and now they've collided. And all the animals are apparently different on each side, but also this creates a very rocky, bumpy ride, well, not really ride, but boat ride across the strait there between the 2 islands. Tim and Hoel had fallen asleep,
I
and
passed
so yeah.
I took some Dramamine and
I did too, but I wanted to explore the ship before I tried to take a nap. And so I went up, and it was nighttime, but very beautiful up there on the deck. All right, our journey is over. We are arriving in Bali right now. It is almost 11 o'clock at night, and we have a little bit of a journey to go before we get to Hoel's place, which is our destination. So I was able to sleep a little bit on this ferry, but it was really rocky. This was definitely the bumpiest, rockiest, craziest ferry that we've been on in a very, very long time. And if it wasn't for the Dramamine pills that I took, I think I would have probably thrown up. But I was able to sleep. Were you able to sleep?
Yeah.
That's good.
Joel is missing. I don't know where he is. He's probably, hopefully he's not overboard, but he is probably exploring the ship somewhere. I'm sure he heard the announcement that we were arriving soon, and because that was super, super loud. But we'll be getting off the ferry soon and then back on the island of Bali.
So when we parked the motorcycle, we were at the very front of the ferry. And so when we docked, you know, I had to make sure that I ran down and got the motorcycle off because there's just trucks and vehicles behind me.
Yeah.
And so I'm just wading through these seas of people, and I finally get to the bike. First it's all the pedestrians that get off, and then I kind of ditched Marissa because I was acting hastily.
Yeah, so I had followed this crowd of pedestrians out of the boat, but actually it went to a separate area and I wasn't able to connect with the motorcycle. And I actually got, when I tried to find my way to the level that the motorcycle was on, I got stuck behind cars that were parked so close together I couldn't fit through. So then I had to go back up and I was just totally lost.
We need to go. I think those other stairs.
I got on the motorcycle and just parked as to the side as soon as we got off that little bridge thing. She would find me. There's only one way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave Marissa behind. She's
Yeah, I wasn't too worried.
the love of my life.
Aw.
Joel and I, though, that sounds nice. On an afterthought, it was pretty close. But we waited.
Thank you.
So we pulled up, obviously it was nighttime. We hate riding at night, but sometimes we're just forced into it.
Like that.
We had to get back to Joel's little bungalow outside of Ubud. But, you know, Dorco's headlight has like a watt and a half worth of power. That
It's
just,
the worst. And it's like off center. It's like, whoop, like
anything up in the trees,
there? Oh.
I might see. And I asked Joel to take the lead so I can follow his brake light because I'm just, you know,
can't see anything.
can't see nothing.
So the next day was an absolutely beautiful morning in Bali. It's rare to have a morning in Bali that isn't stunning, but it's just such a peaceful, gorgeous place.
Yeah.
Wow, what a gorgeous morning. Good morning, everyone. Today is our last day in Bali. We are flying out in just a couple hours. But in the meantime, this is the last few moments that I have with our trusty and sometimes not so trusty steed, Dorco. We have sold our Bajaj Pulsar 220 to Joel, who is going to put her to good use. He's going to fix her all up, and he's going to be able to rent her out to whoever wants to come and ride her. Man, this motorcycle has brought us to so many incredible places. 4 of Indonesia's greatest islands, all across Java. throughout Kalimantan, all around Bali, and an adventure into Lombok. That's pretty impressive for a motorcycle. So she's had an excellent run, and she will continue to have many, many great adventures in the future. We couldn't be more excited for the next life that Joel is going to be bringing this motorcycle. He's got a tour company here, and so he's going to be renting Dorco out to motorcycle travelers who want to experience all the incredible things that we have experienced here in Indonesia. But it is sad to be saying goodbye. It's been many months and many incredible adventures, many places up to the highest points of Mount Bromo, to even the coastal areas and the beaches. Oh man. Goodbye, Dorco. You've been good.
Balinese gods were going to send us off on a glorious day, and we said our farewells to Dorco.
Yeah, this was the day that we were going to be flying out of Bali. I do think that this was an excellent deal for both of us. We were able to sell our motorcycle and put it into good hands with someone who really wants to give Dorco a new life and to actually do something with this motorcycle. And I think Joel got a great deal out of it, and now he is the owner of Dorco.
Indeed, and he reinvested some money into it because
Yes.
Joel runs a little tour company out of Bali. You yourself could rent
Yes.
Dorco, the new improved Dork 2.0. That was good.
That was good.
Oh, my tongue. Yeah, I gotta cut off my reaction to it, but that was nice. Dork 2.0. But you could rent her. She's updated.
Yes, we have a big update to tell you guys. You're going to be so shocked when you see Dorco. We've asked Joel to give us some updated footage of what Dorco looks like now after all of these refurbishments that he's been doing, and it's amazing.
Indeed.
Hello, my friends from Bali. I'm gonna show you the new version of Dorco. He looks totally different. And this is what I changed, okay? I made all these changes here in Bali. Pam, 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 pam. So this is a new version of Dorco. As you can see, it looks totally different. It's the same motorcycle. I know it looks so different, but it's exactly the same. So you can see that they changed the whole front. Also the back. Actually, I'm not sure what they changed. No idea what they changed, but it looks so different. Of course, the front is totally different, but I think it's exactly the same body. They cut one of these things that it covers the tank to make it smaller. They just leave only this one, and that's all. They painted, of course. The motor is still the same, tires the same. I think they changed also the tires a little bit more bigger, but it's exactly the same motorcycle. But look how beautiful it looks.
And if you want to check out some of Joel's tours, let it be. He's got little scooters now that he's renting out with sidecars.
I know,
He's
how
got
cute.
Dorco. He's got other bigger scooters. Completely awesome, super good guy. We've had some of our previous guests that have taken our tours stop by Bali first, but check him out in the link below. Get a hold of him. Awesome individual, and yeah, he'll show you a good time in Bali.
Yeah, and if you yourself want to see Dorco, if you yourself want to ride the new Dorco, you can. So don't forget to check out Joel's tour company in the link in the description below.
selamat pagi. Terima kasih.
We are so thankful for all of the wonderful memories we have had on Dorco and all of the new friends we have made in our time in Indonesia. This country will always have a permanent home in our hearts.
This is the end of a chapter in a book that is still being written as we continue our adventures across the world on two wheels. We hope to have an entire library of memories to look back on one day, knowing that we've had good days and bad, reliable motorcycles and Dorco, but we are living out our own choose your own adventure book, and we are loving every second. This concludes this season here on YouTube of our Southeast Asian archipelago. But we can't wait to share all of the adventures we have in the next season.
Ensure your seatbelt is fastened.
Where do we go?
Secure your
What new
check-in.
bike do we get? Find out everything in the next episode.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're not already subscribed, please do and give us a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Ding, ding. We have been doing these little tech tips at the end of our videos,
This
and
is
so
true.
this next one
Yeah.
is not really a tech tip.
No, but it's Dorco was not always comfortable, didn't have a lot of suspension, and the seat on it is not all that wide or big. So universally, what we've done from the beginning on our KTM 1190 to present is we have Airhawks, which are super awesome. They're around $100 US, give or take, you know. But they add width, and our little tech tip is a little cutting board, because some of these seats, they're not wide enough, and so they just kind of flap down over them. But if you have a cutting board and you place it inside,
This is for me. This is for the pillion. I don't know. Is this a good idea for a rider?
yeah, it depends on your seat shape, right? Because I didn't mind it either, but on the KTM 1190, you have more of like a dirt bike profile. I'm sure on a BMW 1200 GS, that rider seat is
Amazing.
You
Yeah.
don't need anything, but it would be wide enough to do something like this. But yeah, to keep your pillions comfortable, and yeah, just add a little bit of width to your butt, a cutting board, use it to,
I know, it sounds crazy. And this is
Cut
like
the
the
cheese.
ugliest cutting board that ever existed.
beautiful cutting board.
But this is what I do to widen the seat. But without the cutting board, the Airhawk itself is amazing. And every time we're riding without an Airhawk because we borrowed a bike or something, I'm always missing it, very
Yeah.
much so, because it does really double your riding time.
and if you look at it, there's, you know, a whole bunch of little cells. So you're not riding on one pressure point, it divides it into a whole bunch of different ones. And
Yeah, it's just air.
It's super nice. You actually want to keep the air pretty much as low as possible, so you're not like riding on a bubble, because that's awful. You know, there's some Chinese equivalents and rah-rah. We can only speak for this one. We know that it's really tough. It has never popped on us.
Never. Really, really good. You just blow in the air here and it is
Yeah.
comfortable.
And in case of a water landing, blow. Sadly, we don't have like a discount code or anything on this, but we just love sharing what items have worked for us and what we really like. But there is a link below that brings you to our entire gear page.
Yes, and if you would like to support our journey here on our channel, our video making and all of our travels, you can do that through Patreon. You can find it in the link in the description below, and if you become a patron for as little as $5 a month, you get to see our videos ad-free. Sometimes they come out a little early, and you get a postcard sent to
Yeah,
you
we
from
send out
wherever we are in the
postcards.
world. So thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll be seeing you next time.
Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.
Peace. Yeah, you should get me. I don't think you did that, to be clear.
Can I?
Probably. I don't know.
Then we're both like this.
Well, then undo that. Here we go.
Well, here we go.
You're right. Go to the left. Go to the right. Go to the left. Middle. and then go both ways. Oh, no.